Up everybody, I'm Matthew Msengati, the designer and developer. This is my YouTube channel, Core Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. First of all, I have to thank you for making this far. Also, I want to thank you for following this page, because now I think I'm sitting at 55 subscribers. That means a lot to me. I didn't think I was worth it when I started this channel. I thought maybe I was gonna fall around 2, 3, 5 subscribers, but look at where we are now. So thank you so much for that. Without wasting time, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, this is where we are now. Let's just quickly do a recap. We have a clean folder structure, which I believe this part of in fact, not necessarily the part of the folder structure. In general, you must always refactor your code. What is refactoring? Whenever you are typing a code, you are obviously bound to make mistakes and do things wrong, do things randomly, paste things and delete them. You've got comments all over the place, but you must always give yourself time to breathe. Step back, relax, and look at your code. Is this clean? Is this tidy? Is this easy for somebody else to see? And then if you see some mistakes and loopholes there and some redundancy and repetition, please work on that, like whilst you can. So that is called refactoring. You are cleaning your code, you are making it efficient, you are trying to get the best way to do things. So before we continue, let's just quickly do the recap and at the same time and refactor. So let's just call this process recap and refactor. How nice. Okay, let's first look at the folder structure. I'm happy with what we have came up with within the folder structure. We've got a file that is a single point of entry. That means the user interface cannot just jump and require this file which will be here or a file that will be here. So whenever the user interface wants something, it must go through this file. This forms part of the design pattern. I think the name of that pattern is single point of entry or single point of access. So in terms of the design pattern, they are helping you to do things the right way. So the best programming and good programming practice is to always have one place where you can access a file that is used by many functions, by many user interfaces, or by many scripts. So here we are getting there. We are implementing good programming practices. Whenever you want to get into our system, you will always come here. Okay, and then I'm happy with the folder structure. We've got the model, we've got the view, and we've got the controller. All other information we find it here in assets, assets, CSS, and JS, and that is it. So what we want to do now, when we are in the index, of our folder, let's see. Okay, let's remove this. I think here I was playing around. Let's just quickly remove that. We don't need it. Let's see if we don't have any other thing that we don't need here, because we're still going to talk about. Okay, so here in our index file, what we want to do now, we want this index file to make decision. Whenever somebody visits this file, our website, this index folder has to make some decision. What are those decisions? Number one, am I going to load the login file if you are not logged in yet, or I'm going to log the dashboard, which means if you are already logged in? How does it achieve that? It makes use of a session variable. If you don't understand the session variable for now, just relax. I got you. I will explain and it will become clearer. Okay, so now what we want to do, let's just load the login page, because last time we were loading the test page. As you can see, it's under views, and then it has got a PHP extension. All it did, it was just echoing, displaying on screen login test. Let's just quickly test that. This is what it does, because it feels like you are not logged in yet. Okay, so now let's continue. So what we are going to do, we are going to learn about the include. Okay, so as we are including this test file. Now let's make it realistic. What we are going to do, we are going to go to our HTML login page that we already had. What we are going to do in our HTML, we are not going to extract this whole document. Why? Simply because now the login part, it's going to form part of an index page. It's more like we are going to embed it. If this is the index page, this is the index page, the login page forms part, it's a child now of an index page. So it means that when it comes to the index page, it must come as a child. What does coming as a child mean? It means that it must have the necessary files for a login page, not everything. Okay, let's see. So in this whole HTML document, what are the files that relates only to the login page? Okay, as you can see, this is the start of the HTML, that's not the login. This is the head, that's not the login. This is the body, that's not the login. But if you look at this container, this one, this container contains all the information that relates to the login. Let's copy that, because we want to some sort of embed it inside the main document. Let's delete this echo, and then from there let's paste this and see what will happen. Okay, obviously we don't have to paste it inside HTML. Let's remove this because we don't have to paste it inside PHP. Okay, so as you can see now, we've got a PHP page, yes, that has got an HTML inside. If we want to include a PHP in this document, we can always open the PHP document, PHP tags, and close them, and then we will do whatever that we want to do. So PHP and HTML work well together. In a PHP file, as you can see, .php, you can have pure HTML. When you want to include the PHP, you can just put PHP tags, as I have explained. So let's just test this and see what it does. Yay! What does this mean? It means that now we are including dynamically the login page. We are only including this section of that login page. So let's come here and roughly explain what's going on. Okay, we've got our index page. So now what our index page does, it loads fractions of the views of the HTML. It's like the HTML that we have before, we have disintegrated it, and now we are picking up certain parts of it as we wish. That's what we have done here. So the only thing that we're going to do before we close this video, let's just make things meaningful. Let's just change this file, the test file, now to login. Okay, to log in. And also another good programming naming style is to always find a way of indicating that this is a login underscore view. Does this makes a difference in terms of the content that is inside? No, it makes no difference. It doesn't change anything in terms of the content that is inside the test view, which now we have changed it to login view. It makes no difference, but it gives you as a programmer an idea of this file is not a file that can be loaded directly. It's a view. So that also, just by looking at your code, let me just click here. Okay, now as you can see, it has changed. Also, the content didn't change, it's still the same. But also, as a programmer, when you are opening here, you can see that this is a view, so that your mind automatically can understand that, okay, this is a view, so that it can quickly get the idea of what is inside this file. So this is just a good programming practice, and also, believe me, it works. Okay, so we have changed this login view into login underscore view. So what we need to do, let's just quickly run and see the error that is going to be thrown, because there will be an error. We have changed something on one place, but we didn't change on the index. page. Okay, include once file open stream, no such file. So what's the reason for that? Simply because when we go to our index page, we have changed the name of test to login underscore, does it have a capital letter, underscore view. Okay, let as a rule, we are not going to make it to have capital letters. Let's just stick to all lower cases. Okay, let's just stick to all lower cases. Okay, now let's go and check. As you can see, the same thing applies. So that is it for this video. I'm Matthew Msengati, the designer and developer. I will appreciate if you are the first time visiting my own channel. Please do me a favor and subscribe. It means a lot to me. I can continue to help other people as well.